We like sports because we like people going really fast or really high. We like it when they can do fantastic things with a ball or a bat that we can't do ourselves. But we also like sports because they're usually about something that's more than just sports. Last night's WNBA Finals Game 5, it was like that. Technically, it was about the Minnesota Lynx beating the LA Sparks to win the title. But it was also about just absolute sheer will. What happens when a team has spent a year stewing in its own misery? 12 whole months trying to get back to that one moment when it's all on the line again. Because let me tell you, for a year, the Lynx have been living with knowing they lost last season's finals by 1 point. One shot that scored with just 3.1 seconds left on the clock. All through their offseason, they carried the memory of the Sparks celebrating on their floor. Then they just, nursed that grudge until they got back to the finals with those same Sparks across the court again. And it wouldn't be easy. The Sparks were fantastic in these finals, and when they jumped out to a 2-1 lead in the best-of-5 series, it seemed like the trophy was heading back to LA. But that is when the Lynx will kicked in. They won Game 4 with just brute force, then started last night's Game 5 like a team possessed. And even at the end, especially at the end, really, when history seemed to be repeating all over again, when the Sparks made a 9-0 run that cut the score to 3 with just 34 seconds to go, well, Maya Moore, she put her foot down and her shot up and said, no, we are not going out like this. Just sheer will. And when the Sparks tried to come back once more, league MVP Sylvia Fowles also said, no, grabbing that defensive rebound, her record 20th on the night. 20 rebounds. Rebounding, of course, is where we see will show up the most. Rebounding isn't luck or having the hot hand. It is wanting it so badly you will do anything to get it. That was the entire Lynx team last night, and even if you weren't in Minneapolis, you could feel it through the TV. Didn't matter if you were a diehard fan or someone just tuning in by chance. Didn't even really matter who you were rooting for. Last night's game was about more than a game, and whenever that happens, that's special. Ramona, you were at a bunch of these WNBA Finals games. This Sparks-Lynx rivalry, it's just crazy. The point differential between these teams is like 3 points over 16 games.
It used to be UConn and Tennessee, right? That's the rivalry all point to. I think it's Sparks and Lynx now. I really do. They don't hate each other like Pat and Gino did. They don't have all that kind of bad blood. But let me just translate this for you. So last year, that's Candace Parker right there. She had never won a title. That was her shot. That was her moment. She'd finally been there. She had to get it done last year, and they did. She was hungry. She had Neko Gumake with her. They came back in that Game 5. This year, think of the Lynx like the Spurs, okay?
Right.
They're oldies but goodies, right? Their backcourt, they're 35,
and
37
like watching
years
that
old.
Ray Allen shot go down. They said, our whole year is about this. At your house last night, I know what was going on at your house.
My little girls in front of the TV. I said, watch this. My oldest daughter just started playing basketball. I said, you have to watch these two. This rivalry is shaping up like the Cleveland Golden State. You have two of the best players of this generation, Maya Moore. And by the way, I have to say something about Maya Moore. I've watched her since college. She's turning into like Bill Russell as far as winning. She's one of the best winners I have ever seen.
Part of a 90-game win streak in college.
She's just amazing. Just the team she's been on, and she knows nothing but winning her whole career. I think she has 7 championships in the last 10 years.
Ridiculous.
If you go college and pro, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. I caught Maya in LA, and she was at her locker, and they just won that Game 4. And Game 4 had a clothesline in it. Lindsay Whalen put R.C. Sims on her butt in the first minute of the game, and it was whoa, this is like Lakers Celtics right now. That was like Danny Ainge. That was like Kevin Kill. So I caught Maya at her locker, and I said, have you ever been in a rivalry like this? She says, never. I was like, ever?
Right.
And she's like, never. I've never played anything like this. And I said, what's it like? She goes, it's fun, but it's really hard.
and I think it is bringing fans into the league. And you wrote a piece about this because you just, it sucks you in. It sucks you in on the TV. Next year, they got a date again. We'll see if they can three-peat.